Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon on Wednesday, April the 7th or 8th. I'm losing track of time here in this world of coronavirus and restrictions and whatever that is. I'm not the only one with this, probably. We are connected with Helsinki in Finland.
Yes.
And we are in a wind tunnel, and I may introduce Matthew Iles, who is speaking with us here now. Hi, Matthew.
Hi, Bert. How are you doing?
Hyvä päivä, miten kuuluu?
Guten Abend.
Guten Abend. You are a member of Blue Steel, one of the two teams that the NSL News has been covering several times with your duel, and the duel with your best friend Vesa Vuorenkoski and the arch rival, just for fun they call themselves. How are you doing, Matthew, in Helsinki?
All good. Yeah, we've been working from home office for almost 4 weeks now. So we are practicing obviously also social distancing in Helsinki. We don't have a full lockdown in the country, as you can probably see, but the schools are closed, and naturally, you know, no big gatherings or no public events are taking place. So situation in Finland is slightly better, I would say, than the rest of Europe. I mean, we managed to close the borders early on before the kind of epidemic really hit in Finland. So the numbers are quite okay, just comparing to Central Europe, obviously, or even, you know, South, which is a totally different situation. So we don't see any exponential growth at the moment. I think the, you know, cases it's leveling already, and I hope to see that within a week maybe we see the reduction of use of hospital beds also. So definitely it could be worse.
And you have a functioning wind tunnel still, an operating wind tunnel still there. You are in Helsinki, the capital of Finland. And as we can see, there are people flying there in the back. How does it work with this wind tunnel, that they keep the operation going?
Yeah, so obviously very limited. So of course, all the kind of company events, all events have been cancelled. They don't take any groups here. It's basically only pro flyers and also limited numbers at the time. So the schedule is very kind of flexible, and there's maybe just a couple of groups in an evening, you know, at the same time. So I think maximum group number is the 4-way. So it's a 14-feet tunnel, so no 8-ways here even possible. And yeah, but it's of course the cafeteria bar is closed, and I think it's open only 5 days a week, so they've really limited also the time it's open, and almost like a private tunnel at the moment for the small community of Finnish pro flyers, and in fact only for pro flyers in the capital region, because the government has isolated the capital region from the rest of Finland, because this is they wanted to kind of have a more stepwise epidemic in the country. And it was a bit earlier here in Helsinki than other parts of Finland. So in fact, people from other parts of Finland cannot come to Helsinki to fly at the moment.
So practically, the national 4-way team, you know, the champions, the pro team, they live in northern Finland, in Rovaniemi, which is far in the north. They would not even be able to come to Helsinki and fly.
For another couple of weeks, that's what we guess that the closure will take place. But yeah, that's why Vesa's team is training hard. You know, they're trying to.
Yeah, I see. There's actually, so yeah, 4-way, just for fun with Vesa. They are actually training right now. There are some free flyers in the chamber, but they have a half-hour training session or an hour training session, so they have an advantage over you. Let's look at them a little bit when they come back in there. You can show actually what's going on there.
1 minute to go.
Yeah, go a little closer so we can see a little better when they come back in. So we can probably move your computer, what you're using there, and get a little closer so we can see how, just for fun, which gives them a little head start. I mean, first they have a little head start of your team now, Blue Steel, that is. And then both of you and just for fun, Vesa, you will get a head start of the pro team. You're probably hoping that the isolation
I think
will continue.
the gap is a bit too long, you know. I don't think 1 month of isolation will take us anywhere.
Yeah, no, they're pretty good, huh? Yeah. So we hopefully will see them later again. I think Vesa was planning to bring back the tunnel competition in June,
Possibly, yeah. Yeah.
and then hopefully the pro team will be able to travel again to Helsinki, and then because they participated in the beginning, right? I think that's their turn now. Yeah. So let's see. There's Vesa with his he has with a red grippers, right?
Yeah, white helmet. Yeah, there he is.
He was looking at you, yeah. So they know we are watching now. Actually, the whole world, the whole skydiving world is watching now. So he said they're working on some no contact things or some really technical stuff right now. What do you see, Matthew? Comment a little bit. What is it,
No,
what they're training on?
I see that they have definitely changed a bit their approach. I think they started their career last summer and going really fast and aggressive. I mean, they're very good aggressive flyers, and I think they're now cleaning up, which so taking a couple of steps back, and looks good. Looks good, definitely. So, and I would say that. Yeah, because we had a bit of a different approach than them when Blue Steel started in September 2019, and we wanted to kind of take the pace down first. And Pete Allen has been coaching us, and then eventually started adding some speed. I think we had a really nice competition in the wind games, and we were ready for the nationals that were supposed to be in the end of March, but of course that was now cancelled and in fact postponed until October this year.
October.
So yeah, so there will be a lot of time for all teams to train. I would say so.
Yeah, and it's interesting because tell us a little bit about it, Matthew, because you and Vesa, you are like twin brothers. You're best friends. You have known each other forever. You were teammates. You know, you went to world meets together and all that. And here, all of a sudden, you are separated. But give us just in a nutshell, a little overview of the history. It's so sad to me to see you separated, but.
Yeah, so our journey together started when I was 16 and Vesa was 15. So we started skydiving like that was like early 1990, and yeah, we were quite eager young skydivers at that time, and I think it was 1994 we formed our first team, which you know very well, Tim Kumos. You were coaching it at the time. Also traveled to Finland to do it. 94, 95, and then we had the Max 5 team, so the Pepsi sponsored team, where we ended up in the World Meet in 1997 in Turkey. And then I think we both kind of moved to different stages in life, so university life, and then eventually family life, and
Families, yeah.
Families as such. And in fact, now the competition really started again with the wind tunnel. So 3 years ago, we kind of returned and formed the Blackjack team for a couple of years with Oscar and Mika, and enjoyed that for 2 years.
That was the original reunion, the original team, actually.
Yeah. So really enjoyed, of course, that. I think wind tunnel flying is just perfect. I mean, everyone has their careers and everyone has their families and kids and everything. So this is like time-wise a really efficient way to, you know, stay in the sport, which is so much fun, and the community, I would say. I think, you know, I really enjoy hanging out with all skydiving buddies, even though I don't skydive anymore. And it's a great community. And also I would say international community is great because we worked also with Hayabusa, with David. David and Andy visited Fern a year ago, and they've been coaching a couple of Finnish teams. And I mean, everyone is so nice to each other. You know, it's really a nice community. So
They're
So
back in the chamber. Can we take a look again to see what's going on there now? Something different. Yeah,
there is
now there. So now there's some block practice. That's block 17, obviously. Yeah, give us some comments, Matthew. What do you see?
well, I see that they are. I mean, I need to be really careful here, don't I?
Yeah, yeah,
So, uh, first of all, of course, it's there are quite a lot of tall guys in the team. So, three really tall, handsome guys, which means that it's a bit more crowded than with our team.
yeah.
They do use a bit more also wind speed than we do. I think 2-3% is more here. So a bit of a different setup in that sense. And yeah, I mean, you have a lot of experience in the team and a lot of energy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good enough. Block 17 in practice, but this was with grips and normal operation, training operation as it seems. So you and Vesa, you say you met when you were 15 and 16 years old. How old are you now, if I may ask?
Sorry.
How old are you now, if I may ask?
46. So that was 30 years ago.
30 years ago. And that was, you met each other at Malmi on the drop zone then, or where?
Yeah. In fact, there was one summer camp, summer boogie, where we met, and Vesa wasn't that tall at the time. He was quite short. So I was like, whose kid is this? Why is he putting on that rig? What the heck is he? Yeah, Vesa showed his attitude right from the very first day. So yeah, we've done a lot of fun stuff together, and now, you know, in competing teams, it's a lot of fun. Obviously, I mean, we're not in different teams because we became enemies. It's just that
Right.
you know, both wanted to explore, you know, different teams and different flyers, and this is really nice situation because last couple of competitions it's so close. So it's really to the last final point, and the previous competition now we had the Finnish Tunnel League, we lost by 1 point. And,
yeah, I know.
it was that one grip.
Hey, you have Finland used to have 8-way teams, Paving Kakkarat and Scorpion,
Yeah.
and so there's now indoor 8-way. So you know, maybe who knows? Maybe you will be back together in 8-way at some point.
But I don't see that there is enough market for a bigger tunnel in this country. So
Yeah, not yeah.
We have, I mean, for example, Nadia from our team, Blue Steel, she also trains in one European 8-way team. So she does travel for that, I think, once a month. And so, of course, then it's a bit like the wind tunnels used to be when there was only a couple of wind tunnels in Europe. People were traveling a lot for weekends to do training. Now it's not needed for dynamic or 4-way, but I guess for 8-way, that's the case.
Yes, yeah. Teams have to travel for 8-way training for sure. Matthew, you're working in the pharmaceutical industry. So, you know, in the middle of this, you hinted a little earlier already what is going on, but you know a lot of what is actually going on. Are we going to master this crisis anytime soon? How is the progress in the professional area?
So obviously it's so interesting and fascinating. I mean, of course, it's same times it's such a tragedy what is happening all around the world. But I have never seen science progress so fast, so without boundaries, and in such a wide front. I mean, we just identified the virus three and a half months ago, or less than that even. And now we have there's dozens of really credible vaccine programs ongoing. There is over 100 clinical trials at the moment ongoing with different older molecules that are already on the market for some other disease are now being tested. And it's very fascinating to follow. I would say every week there's some really great publications coming from like big medical journals like The Lancet or New England Journal of Medicine or Nature that I would really recommend everyone to read because they are now open for public. So there's a lot of good science taking place, and I would say that the WHO started a huge trial just a couple of weeks back called Solidarity, which will aim to have like 10,000 patients, COVID patients all around the world, and we will get results within a month already. And this is unprecedented. So I hope that we will get something that will alleviate the most serious cases, hopefully within some months. But that is a bit of wishful thinking. But it is possible that we learn more about the patient subgroups, types of risk involved with certain biological factors that we can then understand in advance who are in a bigger risk than others. It's not only about age. There's clearly something else behind this. And then we will learn more about that. How can we use some existing pharmaceuticals to alleviate some of the symptoms, and then there will be a vaccine. That's quite probable. That is it within 12 months, or could it be already in 9 months? Maybe aspiration is even quicker. But now it's time for really social distancing. That's very clear. The first wave, the first hit, we have to take it as the governments are doing. And we need to ramp up, of course, with all the protective equipment and support for the hospital setting. It's kind of caught us by surprise, definitely. But I think now we are ramping up, every country.
Well, it sounds like at least that it may be a little quicker than we thought, because the previous estimations of how long it takes to develop a vaccine was based on how it used to be in the past. But now, as you say, where everybody is working together in an incredible effort, it may hopefully happen a little earlier.
Yeah, I would say that the scientific community and the kind of healthcare industry, pharma industry, and different parts of healthcare industry, they are collaborating without any borders. So even though you see the occasional countries trying to be a bit nationalistic and protect their own people, we don't see that with science.
Mm-hmm. Good. I think the four is back in this. So let's take another quick look of what they're doing now, and then
now it's very, very. There was no contact between the blocks. Oh, very, very smooth. They're doing 19. Okay, now they're back to grips again, picking grips.
So it's very light. Very light flying.
You can see it's they're very tall guys, so need to be very accurate, obviously, in some formations to give the space to Riku, who's in the rear at the moment.
All right. Okay, Matthew, let's take a little break here now, and we will be back then as soon as they are out of the chamber, and then we'll speak a little with you and Vesa together. And then later on, we also get a little flying demo from you, I hope.
Let's see, I think there might be a slot for me.
Yeah. So let's take a little break here now, and then we'll come back in a little while. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and there's Matthew Iles again, and you say now they are at their last flying session, just for fun. And in the meantime, you have put on your own jumpsuit,
Yes,
blue steel jumpsuit.
Brand new Vertigen.
So you're ready now to do what?
To play.
To play.
Yeah.
How long are you gonna play?
Just 5 minutes. Some belly flying, some dynamics with the booties on. It's fun to try some stuff with the belly suit also.
Yeah.
And
that's your team suit, actually. Yeah. The blue steel suit.
Yes. Yeah, brand new. We just during the wing games we visited their shop and got all the measurements done and got the suits, and it really fits nicely and feels really good. Not that many hours yet on it. Feels, of course, always a bit different with the new suit, especially as this is so snug and tight. So, but it feels good.
Yeah, first when I saw it first, I thought it's your free flying suit, but it is your four-way suit.
Yeah, I'm hiding my booties.
Yeah, show us. Handstand, Matthew handstand. You can do.
Sure.
All right. So now, when are you going in a few minutes? So I guess we have Vesa with us for a few minutes before.
Yes, I think he should be. I think they have a short debrief there.
Okay.
Yeah, any minute now. I think they're just discussing the last flight.
Yeah.
They're entering the.
How did you so the new blue steel suits for everybody that comes along with a serious team commitment now, I guess.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Biggest commitment in years, I would say. Yeah.
I remember from my old days, from the team commitments, that a new jumpsuit usually meant we're gonna do this for a little while together.
It's a bit like getting engaged, you know. It's
Yeah,
more
exactly. Yeah. So how is your family doing, Matthew? You are.
good. When the kids are now in homeschool, so we have me and my wife and 4 kids in the house all day long.
Yeah.
So
How do you do that? I mean, how do you entertain
yeah,
the whole family?
we don't need to entertain the teenagers, but it's the 5-year-old, you know. But we have a kind of a trampoline on the yard at the moment, so there's stuff to be done. So
Yeah, you don't have to entertain the teenagers, but them staying at home all the time while they are friends. Yeah, they're used to interact and do things with the friends and with other teenagers.
it has definitely be a kind of a digital leap for the whole
Mm.
society because the school works nicely. I mean, they do their school work, you know, 3 to 5 hours every day, and then they of course, I mean, through the mobile phones, they are interacting with their friends. Of course, a bit more PlayStation time and stuff like that. And now Vesa is here.
Ah, there he is. Hi, Vesa.
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Good. You're looking good in the chamber.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, just doing very, very basic, no
We're
contact,
watching you. We're watching you.
no contact training.
Yeah. So here they are, the twin brothers, not really twin brothers, but Vesa Vuorenkoski and Matthew Iles. You know, we have known you for a while already through the NSL news, and here they are live back together, at least here for the interview. They were together long ago in forward teams, then had a comeback together again, and now they're in two different teams. So Just for Fun is your team, Vesa. Tell us about Just for Fun quickly. How did this team come together after you and Matthew divorced each other?
Yeah, after I decided that the blackjack story was over for my part and for the team's part, I just thought that once in my career I would like just fly with people just for fun. So this was the beginning of the story.
And now you are the champion. You won the big showdown by 1 point over Matthew. Matthew is smiling. You're sad probably, but now Matthew's team has new jumpsuits and you are still flying with one. So I guess they're making up the distance now big time, right?
Well, I don't know. Blackjack was very, very successful team, and I wear proudly with the blackjack suit. So I think this get me far enough. And to be honest, we have just for fun. We have been flying very much, a lot more than they have.
You're probably going to change that after the first meet. When you're losing the first meet, I guess you all order jumpsuits.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I'm smiling because we have a plan.
Okay. Nice to hear.
You know, have you ever met Vesa without a plan? Do you think he doesn't have a plan, or?
I know his plans.
Yeah. Vesa, you are the director of the Finnish Tunnel League
Yes.
at the same time, which is a part of the World Tunnel League. Thanks for doing all that. And you have scheduled a new meet already where the next showdown is going to take place.
Well, yeah, we have been thinking that maybe we would like to try in June, maybe mid-June, if it's possible here in Finland. We don't know yet, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this epidemic is so much over that we could hold it in June.
And then hopefully we'll have the pro team back, so the ban at the capital city will be loosened and the pro team can travel down from
yes,
the north.
because we need competition here, so we need pro team here to attend to the Tunnel League meet. That's for sure.
Yeah, and they are your big goal, I would guess. You know, the role models with
Yeah, for sure. They have been flying very, very long, and they're best team ever in Finland. And both of us, we probably want to beat them at some point of time, but maybe not this year or the next year.
Or in
Well,
Yeah, maybe
next year. Okay, well, good luck with all that. Hey, Vesa, I'm sure that your team is waiting for you for debriefing and things that you have to do. So thank you very much for giving us a few minutes. Oh, Matthew is going in. Okay, so now the transition has taken place. Vesa is outside of the chamber, and Matthew is in there and showing off with his new jumpsuit. Vesa, what do you see? What do you think?
Yeah, I think the new jumpsuit they are having probably fits quite well. I see, and I hope that they will get extra boost for their flying.
Yeah.
Because
Hey, Vesa, how is your family? I know that you have family and kids and all that too. How do you deal with that life at home now? Basically, are you quarantined? Are you?
it's basically homeschool for kids, and we are working from home. So lots of people at home trying to do work.
Yeah, so you really have to love your home. You have a nice place there. You know, I've seen it on my last visit. But you are allowed to go outside and go for walks and to playgrounds, or?
Yeah, in Finland, it's possible with less than 10 people attending to arrange meets.
Okay, so it's not that strict, which means like, you know, you spend more time than usual at home, but you still have kind of a normal life, if you say so.
Yeah. People like to avoid meeting strangers and lots of people in the same place and crowded places.
Yeah. Can you still work? Are you working still?
Yeah, I'm working from home.
Okay. All right. Well, Vesa, we saw enough of Matthew there going up and down. Thank you very much for taking the time and squeezing this in while you're, you know, training. Your team is waiting for you for the debriefing. And good luck with everything. I mean, good luck to all of us, and especially to you in Finland. And say hello to all our flying friends there.
Yeah, same to you, and best regards to USA.
Thank you, Vesa.
All right.